Welcome back to the Mojo Whiskey Bar. I am so glad that you're here. Yeah, it's just me today. Jamie will catch us on the next time. But I wanted to share with you in this video a recent field trip that Amanda, my wife, and I took to beautiful Brown County, Indiana and Nashville, Indiana. Did you know that there are two distilleries that you can visit when you're in Nashville, Indiana? Yep, that's right. One you probably have heard of, one I'm guessing you may not have heard of. The one you have not heard of is the Bear Wallow Distillery, located just east of Nashville on State Road 46. Small little place, but I'm telling you, they put out some phenomenal whiskeys. And in this video, I one of the gentlemen, Tyler at Bear Wallow, is kind enough to talk through and share a lot of details about all of their products. So that'll be coming here in a few moments. And then the other distillery, which you probably have heard of, is the Hard Truth Distilling Company, also just outside of Nashville. Beautiful facility. I think it's 325 acres. They have a restaurant. They have beers. They have all sorts of spirits. They also have some phenomenal whiskeys, and Angela from Hard Truth was so kind to talk about a few of their product offerings. So I encourage y'all, make that field trip, especially if you're here in Central Indiana. Go down there. Now, I will tell you, Hard Truth, especially this time of year, especially on weekends, is going to be a little bit busy. So if you have that flexibility to go during the week or in the middle of the day, you're going to have a much better experience, in my opinion. Bear Wallow, it's right. If you're going to go to Hard Truth, you might as well go to Bear Wallows. They're just that close, and both are doing some phenomenal things when it comes to bourbon and rye whiskeys. So I hope you enjoy this little adventure that I want to share with you. And so we took a little field trip today, stopping at the Bear Wallow Distillery, which is just a little bit east of Nashville on State Road 46, close to Gnawbone, if you're familiar with that area. So I'm going to stop in. I saw where they have a new release, and I'm going to go check it out. So stay tuned. We're at Bear Wallow Distillery, and I'm talking with
Tyler,
thanks for taking some time. So I've been a fan of Bear Wallow for a long time. I think it's one of these little craft distilleries that a lot of people aren't really familiar with, but it's definitely a place you need to check out, especially if you're visiting Southern Indiana, Nashville, and things. But can you talk a little bit about some of the products that you have?
Sure. So everything that we have in front of me here is whiskey. It's all made right here in the building. We have a few different categories of whiskey. We have our unaged whiskey down here on the end, aged whiskey here in the middle, and then all of our flavored moonshines down there on the other end. Starting with just our unaged whiskey, we have 3 different proofs and mash bills over here. So they go up in proof, 80 proof, 100 proof, 120 proof for the unaged whiskeys.
Do you disclose anything about the mash bills at all?
Oh yeah, I'm about to run through
sure.
that. Yeah. So we have this one down here on the end is mostly corn, rest with malted barley, 15% malted barley. And this one's the more neutral flavor, also at that lower proof. So we use this one like a vodka. Okay. It's the mixer that we use in the cocktails. Sure. It's also the base for the flavored moonshines. Okay. The 100% corn mash bill is the Hoosier Hooch right here, so it has a really strong corn flavor in comparison to these other two. And then the Bear Trap is 120 proof, and it's our unaged bourbon. So it's the wheated bourbon mash bill that we use for the Gnawbone. Okay. Corn, wheat, malted barley, and that's the Bear Trap.
Okay.
So after 5 years in a barrel, comes out looking like that.
Yeah, it's
our
pretty.
Gnawbone
and it's really good too. It's really good.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So it's super smooth. Ours is a wheated bourbon, like I said. So corn, wheat, malted barley. It's pretty sweet. And then we also have a rye whiskey, so that's the Liar's Bench here. Ours is a low rye, so it has a little bit less of that spicy, peppery flavor than you'd usually expect from a rye whiskey. And then of the bourbon and rye, we have single barrels of both of those.
Yeah.
So the bourbon right now is 132 proof, the rye is 128 proof.
And that rye is phenomenal.
It is, yeah. And they're both 8.5 years old.
Okay.
As well, on the single.
Terrific.
The wallow corn here is our take on a 100% corn whiskey. So it uses the Hoosier Hooch,
okay.
And it's aged in a used bourbon barrel, so has that lighter color to it, really light barrel flavor, really strong corn flavor on that one. The Indiana 46 is our port finish of our 4-grain whiskey, which we don't have in stock anymore, just the 4-grain by itself, but aged in the port barrel, spent an extra few years in port wine barrels from Brown County Winery. And that one is 46% alcohol, 92 proof.
Okay.
The maple finish bourbon is our standard 100 proof gnawbone, but aged for an extra 8 months in maple syrup barrels. No added flavoring or sweetener other than just what it draws from the barrel in that time. Really nice maple syrup smell to it, light maple flavor on the finish. And then we have our coffee liqueur that we just released this year. So it's our bourbon mixed with cold brew coffee, and that one is 60 proof.
Okay.
Then all of the rest of these are just the flavored moonshine. So they are made with the unaged corn whiskey down here, plus cane sugar, natural flavor extract, and filtered water to bring them down to 40 proof. So they're pretty drinkable, pretty sweet. And we have in front of me salted caramel, apple pie, sugar cream pie, maple, lemonade, peach, and candy cane, though we also still have a bunch of other different out-of-season flavors up on the wall too that we can sample any of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, thank you for that. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, we're at the Hard Truth Distillery in Nashville, Indiana. Again, on a little bit of a field trip. I'm gonna go in and see what's going on. But the grounds here are really pretty. We're gonna probably get a bite to eat here in a minute, but just driving out here, it's really pretty. Clearly this brand has blown up. If you pay attention to anything on whiskey and bourbon, Hard Truth is everywhere. So we're gonna stop inside. So here we are, Hard Truth. You can see all the different variations, the High Road Rye, Sweet Mash Rye, Sweet Mash Barrel Finish Reserve. This is a French Oak Harvest Rye. I think this is a collaboration with John Mellencamp's son, and so on. So we're gonna see what's out there and see what we can find. So. All right, we're at Hard Truth Distillery today, and I'm talking with. I'm sorry,
Angela.
Angela's going to talk about a few of the interesting bottles from Hard Truth. So Angela, take it away.
Yeah, so the first one I'll present with you is our Sweet Mash Bourbon, this is our Sweet Mash Rye. So this has been a gold winner in multiple different award-winning places. Fred Minnick has highly recommended this. He was very impressed with how young of a distillery that we are and that we were able to produce such a rye whiskey. This is a high rye. It's 94% rye, 6% malted barley. It's unfiltered and uncut. This particular batch is 120.6.
And it's really good.
It really is.
I've gone through a few bottles of that over the past couple of years. It's really good. So.
Yeah, it goes in nice and smooth, has a lot of complexities, and it's that as you exhale, you're going, there's the rye.
Yeah, for rye lovers, that's a especially good bottle right there.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty easy to find too, right?
Yes, yeah. And this is actually a 3.5-year rye. The next one I'll talk to you about is one of our more recent releases is our French Oak Harvest Rye. This is where we took our Sweet Mash Rye and we finished it off in a French oak barrel. Now I'm presenting this to you also because we did a series of 4, and they were all limited series whiskeys that we partnered with Hud Mellencamp. He also owns the Mellencamp Whiskey Company. And we partnered with him and created these 4 whiskeys, of which part of the proceeds will go back to farming, helping out Indiana farmers. But yeah, this has been a really fantastic one. People are really enjoying it. This is the 3rd of the releases.
Okay, terrific.
And then the last one I'll talk about is our bourbon, our Sweet Mash Bourbon. So this is 90 proof. It is 73% corn, 19% rye, and 8% malted barley. And this is a 5-year bourbon. Just straightforward.
Yeah, it's solid bourbon. It really is.
Yeah.
So I know Hard Truth, obviously you have a lot of different bourbons and rye whiskeys, but you also have a lot of other spirits too. So
yeah, we do. We carry rums, vodkas, toasted coconut rum. We have multiple creams. We have cinnamon vodka. Yeah.
Good stuff. Definitely a destination if you're into whiskey at all, especially this time of year. I mean, come down to Nashville and
check out
have a whole experience.
25 acres.
Yeah, get some food. You can spend a day here for sure, right?
Disneyland for drinkers.
All right, thank you, Angela. Again, another part of the Hard Truth Distillery grounds. Love that truck. But just a beautiful facility. We were at the distillery, but they have concerts and all sorts of things here. We're gonna go get some food. Okay, this is what I picked up from Nashville Distillery Trips, Nashville, Indiana Distillery Trips. We got the French Oak Harvest from Hard Truth. That's a collaboration with HUD Mellencamp and Mellencamp Distilling, I think. I've got the Sweet Mash Rye Double Oaked, the Gnawbone Indiana straight Indiana bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels, and then also the Gnawbone Indiana handcrafted single barrel straight bourbon whiskey, as well as the Barrel Wallow Indiana handcrafted 46 4-grain whiskey finished in port barrels. So a couple of these I've had before, most of them I've had not. I'm sure Jamie and I will do some tasting videos on these real soon.